Hello students, we'll see the next topic under the second chapter. First chapter topic is offer, it's over. We'll see the second topic, that is the acceptance. Okay, under the acceptance, and acceptance is nothing but acceptance is the offer is willingness to be legally bound by terms of the offer made by the offerer. Okay, acceptance, the first stage in the formation of the contract is making a proposal or an offer by the offerer. The proposal is made with an intention to be accepted by the person to whom it is made. The person the person who the particular offer is accepted, the for whom the particular offer is made, that person is called the offeree or acceptor. Okay, so the proposal is made with an intention to it should be accepted by the another person, right? That particular person who is going to accept that offer, okay, is going to receive that offer, or is going to agree for that particular offer, it's called the acceptance. Okay, see the definition. Section 2, subsection B of the Indian Contract Act 1872 defines acceptance as when the person to whom the proposal is made signifies his assent. When the proposal is made to a particular, or offer is made to a particular person, when he expresses his opinion, the proposal is said to be accepted. Okay, when he expresses opinion, the proposal is said to be accepted. A proposal is when accepted becomes a optimize. Okay, it becomes the wise. Okay, next we'll see the some essentials of the is okay, we'll see becomes the its promise becomes promise. Okay, okay, next we'll see the essentials of a valid acceptance. First, as per section 7 subsection 1 of the Indian Contract Act, the acceptance must be absolute and unconditional. The offer acceptance must be absolute and unconditional. It's nothing but acceptance must be correspondent with all the terms of the offer, whether material or immaterial, major or minor. If the acceptance varies with any of the terms of offer, the acceptance will be deemed to be a conditional acceptance or a counter offer. So it will not be a valid acceptance. Okay, acceptance must be a absolute, it should be absolute and unconditional, means at the time of acceptance of the offer, the acceptor or offeree should not put any extra conditions. Okay, at the time of giving an offer, offerer can put any conditions, but at the time of acceptance of the offer, the offeree or the acceptor cannot put any extra conditions. Okay, and it should be absolute to it's exact to the offer. Okay, what is said in the offer, that should be accepted by the offeree or acceptor. You should not put any extra conditions. Next one, acceptance must be by the offeree and not by anyone else. The offer acceptance must be accepted only by the person or person to whom the offer is made. The person to whom the offer is made, that person should accept the offer, not any other person. It cannot be accepted by any other person without the consent of the offer. With the permission of the offerer, the another person can accept that particular offer, but without the permission of the offer, he cannot accept that particular offer. Okay, next, an acceptance should follow or succeed the offer, it should not precede the offer. An acceptance should follow or succeed the offer, it should not precede the offer. It's nothing but always the acceptance should follow the offer. Acceptance always after the offer, it should not precede, or it should not before the offer. It's not. Acceptance must give only after knowing the offer, not before receiving knowing it. acceptance on offer in ignorance of the same or performance of the condition of offer in ignorance of the offer is not a valid acceptance. Okay, suppose a joint stock company has allotted shares to a person who had not applied for shares. If the joint stock company is going to allot the shares, the particular person who has not applied for the share, whether it's a valid acceptance? No. So acceptance always follow the offer, or it should be succeed the offer, not the precede the offer, not before the offer, but always after the offer. Okay, it should communicate it to the offerer in some respectable form, expressly or implicitly. It should be communicate always. The acceptance should be communicated to the offerer always. If there is no communication of the offerer, it cannot be considered valid acceptance. It should be communicated to the offerer in some respectable form, in a respectable or informal forms. It should be communicated. If there is no communication of an offer acceptance, there is no valid acceptance. Okay, next one, communication of acceptance can be waived or dispensed by the offer. The communication of acceptance very important. Without the communication, we cannot consider it as a valid acceptance. But in some cases, communication of acceptance can be waived. We can take off. Without the communication of acceptance, we can consider it as this a valid acceptance, but it should be waived by the offerer with the permission of the offerer, or with the if the offerer is permissible to waive the acceptance, then only we can waive or we can take off the communication of the acceptance. Mainly remember, in case of the Carlyle West Carbolic Smoke Ball Company, right? Here the Carlyle, the woman is not going to communicate the acceptance, right? Because it is a public offer. Okay, in this case, the communication is not important. Next one, the acceptance must be communicated by the offeree in accordance with the mode prescribed by the offerer. Acceptance must be communicated by the offeree only by the mode prescribed by the offerer. Mode prescribed in the case of at the time of giving the offer, the offerer states that the communication must be in the form of the either in the post or letters or emails or messages or calls or personal any other things which is mentioned by the offerer. Okay, next one, silence cannot be considered as acceptance. Okay, sometimes silence cannot be considered as the we cannot consider as acceptance. Okay, under this we are going to study one important case law, that is Feldhaus versus Spindler. We'll see in the next video. Yes, the silence cannot be considered as acceptance. If the any person is silent, that silent is cannot considered as the acceptance. For example, okay, for example, A writes to B. Suppose A write a letter to B. I offer you my car for 30,000. If I don't hear from you within 7 days, I shall presume that you accept the offer. Here, he is going to sell the car. He is offer you my car. He is offering his car to B. Okay, he is want to sell his car to B for rupees 30,000, and he states that if there is no response from B, he is going to consider it as he is considered as what the particular person B is accept that offer. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ, ಬಿಗೆ ಕಾರನ್ನು ಸೇಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. ಇವನು ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾನಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಬಿ ಹತ್ರ, ನಾನು ನನ್ನ ಕಾರನ್ನು ನಿಮಗೆ 30,000ಗೆ ಸೇಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ನೀನು ಒಂದು ವೇಳೆ ವಿದಿನ್ 7 days ಒಳಗೆ ನನಗೆ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡದೇ ಇದ್ದರೆ ನೀನು ಅದನ್ನು ಒಪ್ಪಿಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಿ ಅಂತೇಳಿ, ಸೈಲೆನ್ಸಲ್ಲಿದ್ದದ ನಿನ್ನ ಸೈಲೆಂಟನ್ನು ನಾನು ನಿನ್ನ ಒಪ್ಪಿಗೆ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ತಗೊಳ್ತೇನೆ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ. ಬಟ್ ಅದನ್ನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗುದಿಲ್ಲ. ಆಸ್ ಪರ್ ದಿ ಕೋರ್ಟ್, ಆಸ್ ಪರ್ ದ ಲಾ, ಸೈಲೆಂಟ್ ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಬಿ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ದಿ acceptance. We'll see this particular essential in the case of the particular case law. Okay, next one, the acceptance must be given within the prescribed period or within a reasonable time. It's very easy. The acceptance must be given within a prescribed time. At the time of the giving an offer, offerer should mention the time. Within this time, particular time, within the 7 days, the particular offeree or acceptor should give his acceptance, should communicate his acceptance. You should so accept must be give within the reasonable time or within the prescribed time. Next one, acceptance must be the whole of the proposal. Acceptance must be the whole of the proposal. You cannot accept the part of the proposal. You must particular accept must accept the whole full of the of proposal or the offer. Next one, the acceptance must show an intention on part of the acceptor to fulfill all the terms of the promise. If no such intention is present, no acceptance, the acceptance is not valid. The acceptance must show an intention on the part of the acceptor to fulfill all the terms of the promise. At the time of the acceptance of the particular offer, the acceptor or the offeree must fulfill all the conditions of the offer. You cannot skip any conditions or any terms or any particular principles of the particular offer. Okay, if a particular person or the offeree is going to miss or not following any conditions which are mentioned under the offer, he is not, that particular acceptance is not valid. Next one, acceptance must be given by the offeree. Acceptance must be given by the offeree while the offer in force, before the offer lapses or before the offer is revoked. Acceptance must be given by the offeree. Acceptance must be communicated by the offeree to the offerer before the offer lapses, before the time of the particular offer is lapses or which is revoked by the or withdrawn by the offer. After some times, if there is no communication from the offeree or acceptor, the particular offerer is going to revoke or he is going to withdraw his offer and he is planning to give that particular offer to another person, right? So acceptance must be given by the offeree within a prescribed time and before the offer lapses, before the expire of the time or before the it's revoked by the withdrawn by the offerer. Next one, a proposal once rejected cannot be accepted by the offeree unless it is renewed by the offerer. Once the proposal was, for example, once the acceptor or the offeree rejected the offer, is not going to accept that offer again, he cannot accept that of same offer. He cannot accept this. Once he rejected means he cannot accept same offer unless it is renewed by the offerer. He can accept that offer only the renewal of the offerer. After the renewal, the offerer have to renew that offer. After that he can accept that offer, but once he rejected means he cannot accept the same offer at the same time. Next one, if an offer is made through an agent, it is enough if the acceptance is communicated to him. For example, if the offerer made the offer with the help of the agent, okay, he is appointed one agent and with the help of the agent he is giving an offer to the particular offeree. And if the offer is in the case of the agent means it's enough if the acceptance communicated to him. ಏಜೆಂಟ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅಂಥ ಕೇಸ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಅವನ ಹತ್ರ ಮಾತ್ರ ಆಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕಾಗ್ತದೆ, ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಫರರಿಗೆ ಕೊಡಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಇನಫ್ ಇಫ್ ದ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಶನ್ ಇಸ್ ಮೇಡ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಏಜೆಂಟ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಅದರ್ವೈಸ್ ಇಫ್ ದರ್ ಇಸ್ ನೋ ಏಜೆಂಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ದಟ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಟು ದಿ offerer. If there is an agent, it's enough is the communication is through the with the agent. Okay, next one, acceptance once made concluded the contract, can revoke before communicated to offerer. Acceptance once made concludes the contract. Once the acceptance is communicated means it creates automatically it creates the contract. Once the acceptor or the once the offerer gives the acceptance means it concludes the contract. Can revoke before communicated to the offer, but it can revoke or we can take back our acceptance but before it reaches to the offerer, before it reaches to the offerer as per the Indian law. But as per the English law it cannot be revoked. Okay, it's revocable. Once it acceptance communicated means it cannot be revocable or cannot withdraw, but under the Indian law it can be withdraw but before reaches to the offerer, before reaches to the offerer. After reaching to the offerer it cannot be revoked, it automatically constitutes an contract. Next one, as per section 4 of the Indian Contract Act, communication of an acceptance is complete as against the proposer when it is put in course of transmission to him. As per the section 4 of the Indian Contract Act, as per this particular act, communication of an acceptance is complete. Communication of the acceptance complete in the case of the offerer when the proposer, when it is put in the course of transmission to him, when it is put in the transport, okay, as to out of the power of the acceptor and against the acceptor, when it comes to the knowledge of the proposed, when it is comes to the knowledge of the proposed. As per the offer na prakara, ಒಂದು ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಶನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಆಫರ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಶನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಆಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಯಾವಾಗ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ವೆನ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಪುಟ್ ಟು ದಿ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಮಿಷನ್, ಓಕೆ, ಯಾವಾಗ ಅದು ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಮಿಷನ್ ಇರಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ, ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಎ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಪುಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಲೆಟರ್ ಬರ್ದಾಗ್ತಾನೆ ಆಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು, ಯಾವಾಗ ಲೆಟರ್ ಆಗ್ತಾನೋ, ಓಕೆ, ವೆನ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ದ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಮಿಷನ್, ಆಗ it's completed in the case of the offerer. But in the case of offeree, the communication is completed only when it reaches to the offerer. Okay, in the case of the, listen here, when in the case of the offeree or acceptor, the communication of acceptance is completed only when it reaches to the offerer. But in the case of offerer, it is completed when in the course of when it is put in course of transmission. In the case of transmission, when it is put in the transmission, it's completed. But in the case of the offerer, it's completed only when it is reaches to the offerer. Okay, these are the main important essentials of the acceptance. Okay, it's very easy. 15 essentials are there. Okay, in next video we'll see the case law under the 7th one. Silence cannot be considered as acceptance. Under this, there is one case law, that is Feldhaus-Swindle. We'll see this particular case law under the next class. Okay, thank you.